Good morning. This is Subhashri from SNCT Department of Computer Science. So we are going to see about theory of evolution, that is genetic engineering and evolution. So genetics and evolution. Okay, Darwin's theory of evolutions because genes are found out by the DNA of genes of Charles Darwin. Evolution, a change over time, is a process by which modern organisms has descended from ancient organisms. A scientific theory is a well-supported, testable explanation of phenomena that have occurred in the natural world. So, how do you think Darwin came up with this theory? Voyage of the Beagle. So, in 1901 is to 96, Darwin's historic discovery bark. So, Voyage of Beagle dates February 12, 1831. Charles Darwin, HMS Beagle, they found a destination voyage around the world. Findings, evidence to propose a revolutionary hypothesis about how life changes over time. So these are the maps. They went from one place to another. So patterns of diversity. Darwin visited Argentina and Australia, which had similar grassland ecosystems. Those grasslands were inhabited by very different animals. Neither Argentina nor Australia was home to the sorts of animals that lived in European grasslands. Patterns of diversity. Darwin posed challenging questions. Why were there no rabbits in Australia despite the presence of habitats that seemed perfect for them? Why were there no kangaroos in England? Living organisms and fossils. Darwin collected the preserved remains of ancient organisms called fossils. One of those fossils resembled organisms that were still alive today. Living organisms and fossils. Others looked completely unlike any creature he had ever seen. As Darwin studied fossils, new questions arose. Why had so many of these species disappeared? How were they related to living species? So the fossils are like this. Okay. The Galapagos Island. The smallest, lowest islands were hot and dry. A nearly barren Hood Island sparse vegetation is there. The higher islands had greater rainfall and a different assortment of plants and animals. Isabella Island had rich vegetation. The Galapagos Island. Darwin was fascinated in particular by the land, tortoises and marine iguanas in the Galapagos. Giant tortoises varied in predictable ways from one island to another. The shape of a tortoise shell could be used to identify which island a particular tortoise inhabited. So the next one is found in the Galapagos are land tortoises, Darwin finches, blue-footed booby, marine iguanas. So the journey home. Darwin observed that characteristics of many plants and animals were very greatly affected in among the islands. So hypothesis, separate species may have arose from original ancestors. Ideas that shaped Darwin's thinking. James Hutton, 1795, theory of geological change. Forces change at surface shape. Changes are slow. Earth much older than thousands of years. Ideas that shaped Darwin's thinking. Charles Lyell, book Principles of Geography. Geographical features can be built up or torn down. Darwin thought if Earth changed over time, what about life? So Lamarck's theory of evolution is nothing but tendency toward perfection, that is giraffe use and disuse, bad using forearms, inheritance of acquired traits. These are the things that come into the existence of genetics and immune system. So we have to analyze Lamarck's giraffe. Original short-necked ancestor keeps stretching neck to reach leaves higher up on tree and stretching until neck becomes progressively longer. So population growth. Thomas Malthus, 19th century English economist is Thomas Malthus. If population grew, more babies born than died. Insufficient living space, food runs out. Darwin applied this theory to animals too. Publication of Origin of Species. Russell Wallace wrote an essay summarizing evolutionary from his fieldwork in Malaysia, gave Darwin the drive to publish his findings. So, natural selection and artificial selection method used here. So, natural variation, differences among the individuals of a species, Artificial selection, nature provides the variation among different organisms and humans select these variations they find very useful. Evolution by natural selection. The struggle for existence, members of each species have to compete for food, shelter, other life necessities, etc. Some of the fittest are some individuals better suited for the environment. So, natural selection. Over time, natural selection results in changes in the inherited characteristics of a population. These changes increase a species fitness in this world. So, descent with modification. Each living organism has descended with changes from other species over time. Common descent is divided from common ancestors. So, evidence of evolution. The fossil record, geographic distribution of living things, homologous body structures, similarities in early development. Evidence of evaluation. The fossil phosphate layers show change. Geographic distribution of living things, homologous body structures, similarities in early development, etc.
முடிச்சிட்டியாம்மா வீடியோ கேண்டீன் போலாமான்னு கூப்பிட்டா எனக்கு டெஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டியா